Beep beep, everybody. Hope you're all having a great day. Thanks for tuning in. So, this is probably going to be a longer than usual video because we're going to open up an entire box and we're going back to the junk wax era. Every now and then, this channel likes to open up a box of junk wax stuff. I got this from Duncansville Antique Depot. Beep beep from Grimace, and beep beep from Omar the Orange Monster. And we're gonna boop 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 Nathan's Gnome for good luck. This is 1992 O-Pee-Chee Premier. Not a very expensive set at all. I got this for $11. Apparently, at one time there was some place named Vintage selling this for, I think. Well, I don't know if there's something before that 9 or not. I can't really tell. So let's start opening this up and have a look at this. I don't think there's like any really special cards in this set. I was looking over the rookie cards, and I think the only one of note was Rod Beck. So there you go. There's not a whole lot going on. So we're just going to have some fun and do some beeping and do some hoo-hooing. If you're new to the channel, between packs, I like to do a lot of beeping and hoo-hooing. So this looks like it's been twice sealed over. I'm not sure why. And I just cut through this bottom one. And yeah, the price on this, whoever Vintage Sports Cards was selling it for $9.99 back in whatever time this was. I don't know if $11 is a good deal for this. I definitely didn't check eBay for comps on this. I don't know. It just seemed like a cheap price for it. They have a couple other ones that are going for like $11, $13, and $15, and you usually don't find any more junk wax boxes at those prices these days. It's kind of they're all getting costlier and costlier. That's because I think so many people are opening them up on YouTube channels, and maybe this is what's sucking up the rest of the junk wax that's laying around out there. So these are in French and English. This is a product of I think Topps has something to do with O-Pee-Chee. I'm not sure what. Trademark license with the Topps company, but O-Pee-Chee's based in London, Canada. Here, I'm kind of pointing at it and I'm not showing you. And they made similar cards. Well, not like this, but they made cards, I guess... I don't remember what year range, but they started making them in the 60s, and they were modeled basically on the Topps design, and they were smaller than the Topps sets, and they tended to have more players that were on the Canadian teams from 1977 onward once actually, no, I'm wrong about that. Not 77, but when the Montreal Expos started, and later on the Toronto Blue Jays. And there would be extra cards for players on those teams that didn't make it into the regular Topps base set that was issued in the United States. So let's open this up. And we'll pull all these out here. There's 8 cards per pack. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6. I'm not doing too good. 9 packs there. So we've got 36 packs with 8 cards in each pack. And like I said, this is not a very expensive set. I think Beckett value for the complete set is like, I don't know, $15 or $20, something like that. It's not very expensive. Chances are on eBay it's quite a bit more than that. I don't know what card stores are selling it for if they have a hand-collated set, and I don't know what anybody else is selling these for. I have very few of these in my collection, so I thought this would be a great way to get some junk wax that I'm missing, and it would give me something to open up on the channel, provided I can get them open. Foil packs are a little harder to open than wax packs, so this is what they look like. And there's Mike Timlin, has O-Pee-Chee Premier 92 across the top, has Blue Jays pitcher, and then in French, Lancour for, I guess, French for pitcher. And this is what the backs of them look like, and the Career, Carrière, printed in Canada, Imprimé au Canada, I'm probably doing a really rough French pronunciation. I did take French in college and in high school, but I never really used it for anything. The rest of this is in English on here. So Mike Timlin, we're probably going to go through these a little fast because we have quite a few cards to go through. Mike Morgan, John Franco, Brett Butler, Mark McGwire, Bill Swift, Wilson Alvarez, and Ken Hill. I actually should have these in that order. So if you're new to the channel, I usually do 2 piles back here. This is what I consider common cards, and this is what I consider cards that I probably will put in my PC. Star players, semi-stars, or players that I collect. Sometimes I put them in the wrong piles. They end up getting put in storage boxes, and then when I get around to going through and arranging them in top loaders for the stars and commons go in the common box, I will go through them and make sure I did the right, put them in the right pile. So just in case you're wondering why that is like that is, and as I mentioned before, we do a lot of beeping and hoo-hooing on this channel. So between packs, I will probably go beep beep, and you are more than welcome to join along if you'd like. That depends probably on your surroundings. You probably don't want to do that with strangers. They'll probably think there's something peculiar going on. I'll put it that way. Or if you do a hoo-hoo, because you can hoo-hoo along with me too. And I'll do this randomly, so you've got to be on your feet. Mel Rojas, Joe Grahe, Kelly Gruber. He was a pretty good player back in the day. Cecil Fielder, Bob McDonald, Wally Joyner, Randy Myers, and Juan Guzman. So I actually like the design of these. These aren't too bad. I don't think they're the greatest design. I think the 92 top set looks better than this. 92 Ultra definitely looks better than this. And the Stadium Club one. But this set is not likely to ever brick up like some of those other sets would. Ivan Rodriguez. I mean, the photography looks really clear on them. Scott Kamenicki, Mike Magnanti, Randy Johnson, Dickie Thon, Julio Franco, Kelly Gruber again, and Ken Griffey Jr. So we got one of the better base card players. I think O-Pee-Chee made a premier set in 91. So this is the second time they issued this. They did another set in 93, and I think that was the end of it. And I don't think O-Pee-Chee issued any more baseball cards after 93. Albert Bell, and what they ended up doing, I think, was mostly issuing hockey cards. Cal Ripken, Ricky Henderson celebrating his 1,000th career stolen base. Chuck McElroy, Scott Leyes, Hall of Famer Gary Carter, Randy Johnson again, and Mike Huff. Hoo-hoo! So these aren't coming apart real well. And I'm going to end up with like, well, enough nesting material to build a nest on my floor to my left here. There's Lee Smith, Hall of Famer, Kevin Mitchell, Marquise Grissom, Mike Bordick, Chris James, Chuck Knobloch, Joe Carter, and Scott Kamenicki. So it looks like as we go through this, one duplicate starts showing up in each pack from a prior packet. At least that's what the pattern seems to be at the moment. Beep beep. Darryl Kyle. Terry Pendleton. There's our checklist. It's done by team. Oral Hershiser. Mark Leiter. Scott Scudder. Robin Ventura, and Brian Hickerson. Okay, that one did not have any duplicates in it. So there goes the pattern breaker. Beep beep. Al Osuna, Dean Palmer, Eric Davis, Charlie Hayes, Danny Tartable, Marquise Grissom, that's a duplicate from the previous pack, Pat Kelly, and Eric Davis in the same pack. So we got a duplicate within a pack. That's never a good thing. I wonder if any card company ever made a pack that was so bad that the entire pack was full of the same card. Tim Belcher, Jose Melendez, Chris Gwynn, Andres Galarraga in a Cardinals uniform, Mike Bordick, George Brett, one of his later year cards, Rich DeLucia, and Andres Galarraga again. All right, that's not a good sign. Hoo-hoo! Alrighty. Jack Morris on the Blue Jays uniform. Rick Cerrone. Rod Beck, that's his rookie card. Or one of his rookie cards. He probably has one in another one of the sets. So we got a Rod Beck rookie, so no complaining there. Dave Gallagher, Dave Burba, Brett Saberhagen, Bip Roberts, and Doug Jones. So I have no idea if we could actually complete this set with just this box. It would be pretty cool if you could. Chito Martinez, Wally Joyner, we've seen him before, Andre Dawson, Kirk McCaskill, Don Mattingly, that's a nice photo, Howard Johnson, Dave Martinez, and Andre Dawson again. Well, I'm not going to complain about having two Andre Dawson cards in the same pack. Okay, Reggie Sanders, Randy Myers, we've seen him before, Frank Thomas, Ryan Sandberg, Paul Gibson, Brian McRae, Brett Saberhagen again, and Ryan Sandberg again. I'm not going to complain about getting two Ryan Sandberg cards in the same pack, but it is kind of weird. This has happened before in many things I've opened up in the past. It doesn't happen that much, for me at least, in Topps packs, but it has happened. Fred McGriff, Juan Guzman, John Wetland, Doug Jones, Jack Morris. So we are seeing some duplication in this pack. Darren Lewis, Scott Livingstone, and Wally Joyner. But, you know, when these were, I suppose these were in your local 7-Eleven or Wawa or what have you, convenience store, Kmart maybe, I don't know. And you would just pick out some packs out of the box. Buying an entire box, you're going to run into some duplication from back in 1992. Dennis Eckersley, that's a nice photo. Mark Leiter, Paul Molitor, Mike Timlin, that was the first card that we came across on our first pack. Rod Beck, rookie card. Barry Larkin, Dave Winfield, and Jeff Fassaro. So I would be happy about that pack. That was a decent pack. You know, if I would just buy one pack of this, and that's what I pulled. Julio Franco, Scott Scudder, Denny Martinez, Brent Main, Matt Williams, Ruben Sierra, Paul Molitor again, and Denny Martinez again. So we are starting to see a pattern of duplication within packs of at least one card. So I don't know what the story is, why O-Pee-Chee stopped making baseball cards. Alan Trammell, Robin Ventura. If you know, go ahead and let us know in the comments. Scott Leyes, Ozzie Smith, Dean Palmer, Wayne Rosenthal, Mel Rojas, and Ozzie Smith again. Well, at least the duplicate cards are star players. You can't complain about that. Beep, beep. Woohoo! Chris Nabholz, Brian Hickerson, Gary Carter, Albert Bell, Sean Dunston, Bob Scanlon, Mark Leiter, and a checklist. Beep, beep. So we're about, not quite there. Not quite halfway through, but we're getting close to it. So yeah, this may turn into about a half-hour long video at this pace. Maybe if I wasn't yakking so much in the first 4 minutes, we'd get along a little quicker. Rick Aguilera, Reggie Sanders, Mike Huff, Darryl Kyle, Brett Butler, Cecil Fielder, Randy Johnson, and Chuck McElroy. So there was a lot of duplication in that one. I don't think I saw anything different in that pack. So I opened up a wax box of Swell, Swell. Yeah, it's actually spelled that way and pronounced that way. And it had mostly like old timers in it, and I got that from Duncan's Antique Depot. And this was in the earlier days of my channel, so if you want to check that out, that was like one of the worst collation boxes I've ever opened. There was so much duplication, it was frightening. Robin Yount, Omar Olivares, Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens, we haven't seen him yet. Sandy Alomar, that's a new one. Greg Jeffries, Junior Noboa, and Ron Gant. So we have made the halfway point. Beep, beep. If we start running into a lot more duplication, I may go through the cards a little quicker just to cut back on the video length. Ken Hill, Denny Nagel, Juan Guzman, Junior Noboa, Mark Carrion, Sandy Alomar, Charles Nagy, not sure what pile I want to put him in, and Nolan Ryan. I think that's the first time we've come across Nolan Ryan. Any base card Nolan Ryan is worth getting at the minimum. That's catalogs will list that at least $1. On eBay, the lowest price you can get for a buy it now is $1, but I think the Ryan cards go for a bit more on there. I'm sure at a card store you might find Ryan cards in 50-cent bins or 25-cent bins. Chris James, Will Clark, I mean, you know, from the junk wax era. Jose Offerman, so we haven't seen the Will Clark before. Don Mattingly, Gary Carter, John Smiley, Chuck McElroy, and Mike Gallego. Let me get straighten my paws out a little bit. So it looks like we've got another Rod Beck rookie card on the back. Chuck Knobloch, Tony Gwynn, not sure if we saw him yet. Carlton Fisk, Howard Johnson, checklist, Eric Davis, Chris Gwynn, and Rod Beck rookie card. Beep, beep. Joe Carter, Rick Sutcliffe, that's a new one. Hubie Brooks is a new one. Dave Martinez, Rob Dibble, that's a new one. Jose Offerman, Scott Scudder, and Hubie Brooks again. Beep, beep. Scott Kamenicki. Eddie Murray, we haven't seen him yet. Keith Miller, Andre Dawson, Ron Gant, Bernie Williams, that's a new one. Tom Candiotti, and Andre Dawson. Beep, beep. Woohoo! Dave Burba, that's a new one. Chris Haney, Omar Olivares, Matt Williams, Oral Hershiser, Rich DeLucia, George Bell, we haven't seen him yet, and Dave Gallagher's a new one. I should have checked to see how many cards were in this set. I think it's 100 and something. It's not a very big set. Brett Saberhagen, Wilson Alvarez, Brian Hunter, Ruben Sierra, Bill Pacoda, Chris Sabo, Mark Carrion, and David Cone. I'd say the condition of these is in pretty good shape. Let me do a sniff test. They smell okay. No issues there. The one thing I worry about opening up product that's this old is where was it stored for all this time? I mean, this is over 30 years old. Never opened before. Bip Roberts. Willie Randolph, we haven't seen him yet. Wade Boggs, another one we haven't seen. Paul Molitor. Brian Hickerson. Danny Gladden, haven't seen him yet. Brian Hunter and Jim Abbott. So a couple new ones in that pack. I should probably let my fingernails grow a little longer before I'm opening up packs. Doug Jones makes it a little easier. There's Von Hayes. We haven't seen him yet. Eddie Taubensee. Denny Martinez. Frank Thomas. Is there somebody behind him? Nope. John Wetland. Paul Molitor and Denny Martinez again. We may have 5 or 6 Denny Martinez cards at this point. And that's okay. I liked him as a pitcher. He was a pretty good pitcher. Played with the Orioles. Had a substance abuse problem, I think, when he was with the Orioles. And I can't remember the name of the manager of the Expos, but they gave him another shot, and he pulled his act together and had quite a few great years for them. Darren Lewis, Ivan Rodriguez, and so those are always nice stories to hear. Bill Pacoda, Kevin Morton, that's a new one. Omar Oliveras, Reggie Sanders, Jim Abbott, and Eddie Taubensee. My piles are starting to slip there. Got a piece stuck to my finger there. Scott Livingstone. Mike Mussina, we haven't seen him yet. That might be like a second-year card for him, maybe. Chris Sabo. Warren Newsom, that's a new one. Pete Incaviglia, we haven't seen him yet. Roberto Kelly is a new one. Bill Pacoda and Dave Winfield. Piles are kind of messing around there. We've got another one. Wally Joyner. Bobby Bonilla, that's a new one. Mark Carrion, Bobby Rose, Rick Sutcliffe, Mark McGuire, Bill Swift, and Bobby Rose again. Sheldon Dunston. Ray Lankford, that's a new one. Sandy Alomar, Ken Hill, Mike Timlin, Mel Rojas, Ivan Rodriguez, and Albert Bell. Looks like we got 5 packs left. Beep, beep. Hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo-hoo! Bob Scanlon, Brian Barnes, Charles Nagy, Greg Swindell, John Franco, Alan Trammell, Ken Griffey Jr., that's the second one of him. Ricky Henderson, that's the second one of him. Beep, beep. Mark Leiter, Tim Belcher, Nolan Ryan, Tom Glavine, that's the first time we've seen him, I believe. Jeff Fassaro, Steve Sachs, first time seeing him. Charles Nagy and Junior Noboa. Checklist. Imagine opening up a pack and the first card you see is a checklist. Jose Canseco, so we haven't seen him yet, so that's nice. Ron Gant. Kevin Seitzer, first time seeing him. Eric King, first time seeing him. Chris James, Tom Glavine, and Joe Carter. 2 packs left. I have no idea if we've completed this set. I don't think I'm even going to try to find out if I have, to be honest. Robin Ventura, it just sounds like too much work for today. David Cohn, Bernie Williams, Paul Gibson, that might be a new one. Lee Smith, Daryl Kyle, Al Osuna, and Tim Belcher. Roberto Alomar. Okay, now here's one we haven't seen yet, so that's a nice one. Bob McDonald, we haven't seen him before. Tom Candiata, Dave Burba, Rick Aguilera, a checklist, Kent Herbeck, and the last card is Pete Incaviglia. So there we go, 1992. Whoops. 1992 O-Pee-Chee Premiere. And we got it done in under a half hour. So if I don't yammer on too much longer, we'll be out of here soon. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Here's Omar the Orange Monster going beep, 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 and beep, beep. And I thought I saw him flying through. Beep, beep. I forget what his name is. He has a name. Isn't it Trevor? I think his name is Trevor. Trevor the Toilet. Somewhere I have a list of their names, and I've forgotten what his was. Yeah, Trevor the Toilet. We got a couple other characters that don't really usually show themselves very often on here, but for a while there I had this whole thing filled with things. And it was distracting from the cards, so a lot of them kind of sat off by the side, and now they're doing desk jobs. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you all have a great day. Take care, everybody. Beep, beep.